For inequalities and their graphs, we're going to be writing those inequalities, graphing them on a number line, and identifying solutions of the inequalities, keeping in mind that solution is the value of the variable that makes the inequality a true statement. So, a definition for an inequality: it compares two unequal quantities. If you'll remember from vocabulary as a 7th grader, that prefix "n" means not. So it's a not equal sentence. So here's a situation that you're probably all familiar with. You're praying and you're hoping that I have an A in algebra, and so in order to do this, your average must be at least 89.5%. This is a situation that can be represented by an inequality. So A, our average, has to be greater than or equal to 89.5. If I just said it had to be greater than or equal to 90, that would not be true, because as you are also aware, it will round up. So I have a closed circle on 89.5 right there, halfway between 89 and 90. It's closed because if I have exactly an 89.5, that does round to an A, and anything to the right of that would work. So an explanation for this: the solution to the inequality is any number that makes the inequality true. So in order for this to be true, to have an A in algebra, you have to have at least an 89.5. Anything that is shaded would be an average that would give you an A in algebra. So for my hope of making an A in algebra to come true, I can have averages, which is what the variable is representing, of 89.5, 89.6, 90, 92, 80, 98.6, 101, and beyond. All those fall within that shaded part of the graph. So they would be solutions. They would make that a true statement. You should be familiar with this top part here as far as what the symbols represent: less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Last year you started to learn about the open circles and the closed circles of when they are graphed. Open means that that number is not included. So if I said you can have less than 5 pieces of pizza, well, 5 pieces of pizza wouldn't work because that's not included, but you could have 4.5 pieces or 4 pieces. That would be an open circle, where a closed circle would be something like what we saw in the previous slide about your averages, that where the circle is included in the solution. So when you're writing an inequality, you have to keep in mind the circles. Keep in mind that circles with the closed, that means it is included. Open means that solution is not included. And what the arrows mean: if it's pointed to the left, that means less than. If it's pointed to the right, if it's shaded to the right, then it is greater than. So for the solution of n is less than 4. 4 is not included, but everything less than 4. So that arrow right here signifies that -4, -5, -6, -500, all of those are all included in the solution set. So let's practice writing and graphing an inequality to represent this situation. The situation we have is the quotient of k and -2 is greater than 3. So here's my translation. We have quotient, we have k, we have -2, greater than, and 3. Those are the translation there. So let's piece it together. What am I dividing? I'm dividing k and -2. Let's put that in order. And that quotient, after I divide those things, that's going to be greater than -3. Okay. Now that solution there, what you'll see in lessons to come is you would you would divide both sides by -2, and then let's get this in here. Pick up a pen. Okay, there we go. So you would multiply both sides by -2. This is my attempt of writing with a mouse, so it's not near as pretty. So this part of actually solving it, you won't have to necessarily do this lesson. So then k would be less than, because the symbol switches, just take my word for it, you'll see that later on in the chapter, is less than -6. Now here's what I want you to be able to see. Take that solution and graph it. So since it is less than, it's not or equal to, it's just plain less than, I'm going to have an open circle on -6 right here. And then I'm going to be shaded this way because it is less than. Whew, that is an awful looking arrow. But you get the idea. The main portions are that you see the arrow pointing to the left because it is less than, and it is an open circle on -6 because -6 is not included in the solution set. Okay, now here's the other direction of it. I give you the graph and you write the inequality based on it. So first piece of information, it is shaded to the right, which means the solution set is greater than the graph point. So I'm going to have greater than. The point that it's greater than is -2. Now another piece of information, it has a closed circle, and that means that the number graph is included. So it's not just greater than, it's greater than or equal to. Now I need a variable. We're just going to use x. So the solution is x is greater than or equal to -2.